Mike, obviously not the result you would have wanted today against Spennymoor. For you, how do you see the game and the performance overall after that?
Yeah, I've got to take responsibility for it. Ultimately, we weren't good enough. I mean, yeah, we can say that the sending off influenced the 90 minutes, but for me, it didn't change the fact that they were better than us. In terms of the physicality, their game plan, and I think, like I say, if you watch the game, and I need to watch it back and review and analyse it, but I feel as though in terms of between both boxes, we look pleasing on the eye going forward. We've got good players, we've got good technical players, but ultimately we weren't good enough. We were found wanting today, and that is always comes back to me, and I've got a lot of work to do to make sure that we get it right.
You touch on the red card there. Obviously, it did leave you with an uphill battle, a goal down, and then with 10 men. But do you feel like that, going into halftime, especially as well, you were only still a goal down, that you would still kind of in with a shout of things at that point?
Yeah, like I said to the lads after, I felt as though we look pleasing on the eye, and we play good football, and we can move it really well. We can move through the thirds and control possession, but ultimately our blueprint and our reaction to disappointment and in both boxes weren't good enough, and that's offensively and defensively. So, like I say, I was on the pitch today, and so I've got to take responsibility for that. But ultimately, um, the manager, for me, we weren't doing what we needed to be doing, and whether that's personnel or the coaching, that comes back to me. So yeah, I've got to take full responsibility, and make sure that we have a reaction. And come our next game on the second, it's a huge game, and we need to build that and continue for the back end of the season.
And in terms of obviously the kind of mindset and I suppose confidence of the lads, obviously you always speak about them being a confident bunch at all times, but how much of importance is it that you don't let, I suppose, a poor result like this define the next few games in a sort of hangover sense, I suppose?
Yeah, no, like you hit the nail on the head there. It has to define us, but it's got to define us in a positive way, and that starts with me and goes all the way through the lads. Individually, we've got to look at ourselves and collectively, but it always comes back to me. And like I say, whether the lads, in terms of how effective we were today, we were found wanting, and that comes back to myself and and Bust, and we've got to take responsibility because, like you say, these results will define us, because if we take it as in the manner that I believe we will, and we get back on the training ground and we gather, we regroup and we go again, then this can be a positive in the bigger picture of the season. But if not, if we take it and we allow it to knock our confidence, then we will be ultimately judged on the reaction like this.
Of course, another big game on Saturday against Blythe once again. Does that game take on any more importance to you, or is it still just 3 points that's there to be taken?
Ultimately, yeah, it's 3 points we've got to play for, but I think on the grand scale of things, it creates more importance. Not only is it another local derby, but we need a massive reaction off the back of today, and for me, it's just about buckling down and making sure that we have to work harder and we have to find a way, and we will.